In our previous video, we looked at the Hebrew name of God, Yahweh Ropheka, and the meaning and the application of the verb rapha as it is used in the Old Testament, and its New Testament Greek equivalent, iaomai. If you haven't already watched that lesson yet, you will find a link to it in the description of this video. The Greek language offers us several other words referring to health and healing, and some of those words have found their way into the English language. The most frequently used word for healing that we find in the New Testament is this one. Some students favor pronouncing this word as therapeuo. Our lexicon favors reading the epsilon upsilon as a single diphthong so that it would be pronounced therapeuo. This is the word from which we get our English word therapy. It's a verb that means to heal or cure. Now, therapeuo and the word we previously studied, iaomai, as they are generally used in the Greek language, are synonyms and may be used interchangeably, although this word, therapeuo, tends to emphasize one's compassionate service, which brings about healing in another person. Let me say that again. Therapeuo emphasizes one's compassionate service, which brings about healing in another person. This concept of service is really the root origin of this word, and the meaning of caring service unrelated to healing appears in a couple places where therapeuo or one of its cognates is used in the New Testament. In the 42 appearances of therapeuo, it refers to healing for individuals who are either physically ill or infirm, or those who are demon-possessed. As always, I invite you to peruse the concordance to check out these for yourself. There are a couple words for healing less frequently used in the New Testament, which also have derivatives in the English language. One of them is this one, hugiaino, which means to be well and in good health. It comes from the adjective form we find here. The next word in the lexicon, hugies, which means healthy, well, sound, or whole. The Greek verb hugiaino is the origin of our English word hygiene, although as often happens in the development of language, our English word hygiene has a meaning different than the original Greek word from which it came. Hugiaino and hugies do not refer to the process of healing, but to one's state of health after the healing has been accomplished. Another Greek word that appears in New Testament healing stories is katharizo, which means to cleanse or make clean. Katharizo was the grandparent of the modern medical term catheter or catheterize. It is also the origin of the feminine proper name Catherine. The Greek word katharizo may apply to the physical cleaning of anything that is soiled and dirty, or to a ceremonial or spiritual purification, as in the removal of guilt and sin, or the removal of medical disease, specifically leprosy, as we find in the familiar story of Matthew chapter 8, when a leper asked Jesus, "If you are willing, you can make me clean." Katharisai. And Jesus answered, "I am willing, be cleansed." And immediately he was cleansed of his leprosy. 3 times the same word is used in 3 successive sentences. Once again, let's pause here because the next and final word I want to look at was actually the trigger for doing this series and deserves a focus all of its own. In the meantime, check out the links in the description of this video to chase down some of the Greek nouns and adjectives that are derived from these 3 verbs and see how they are used in the New Testament. And then please come back for part 3.